Good evening. Welcome to Sleep Money at www.yourtruechange.com. I'm Tom McKeown, your host and moderator. Anytime a question comes up, you can type down in the chat your question, and I'll be more than happy to address it once we get to the end. Thanks again for joining. Let's take a rocket launch, shall we? Turn this webinar off if you want a job. You can tell clearly by taking a look at the picture what I think of jobs. Turn this webinar off if you want a sales opportunity. Nope, don't like those either. Turn this webinar off if you want shortcuts. Turn it off if you want all of the rewards but you don't want to do any work. Turn this webinar off if you're not open-minded to learn about other legal forms of earning a top-flight income, including those advocated by some of the world's most top business leaders, such as these guys. Turn this webinar off if you're a Johnny Downer know-it-all who believes any business you're not familiar with is a scam because your unsuccessful friend said it was, or because you didn't learn about it in school. You see, one of my foremost mentors and people who I've learned from reading his books and attending his seminars is Robert Kiyosaki. And he has a quote that I first read over a decade ago, and I didn't really understand what it meant at the time. And it goes, "The richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work." And then some years later, the richest man in the world, and arguably the most foreknown billionaire in the world, who happens to be the CEO and chief software architect of Microsoft, I think you might know this guy. He actually, in an interview, had this following quote: "If I would be given a chance to start all over again, I would choose network marketing." And I said, hold on a second. So this guy who created the world's largest, or one of the world's top 10 largest corporations, became the world's foremost known billionaire and icon in business, said that he would actually start all over again and choose a career that I didn't even know what the hell that meant, network marketing, but I wanted to learn more. Don't waste your time here if you don't want to achieve. Are you someone who wants to be financially successful but make sure that your time is spent wisely and not to waste? Do you enjoy your career or what it is that you do, but you just simply need to earn more and don't know what to do because all options look like a waste of time? And it brings me to this question. Do you really want to do these things? Have you ever stepped back outside of your cubicle, outside of your office, outside of your daily grind and, said, if you really want to go and pursue all these options that you know of, that you've learned of, that your friends, that your relatives are doing? Number one, finding another job, which entails wasting endless amounts of time with recruiters, multiple round job interviews. Round 6, round 7, thanks for wasting several countless hours of your time. Goodbye. Can I have the security card back, please? Endless amounts of time playing with stupid internet job sites. Needle in a haystack, anyone? Getting a raise. Well, that's great. Do you really want to play inauthentic company politics and tear people down on your way? Because that's typically what getting any substantial raise entails. Investing. Perfect. Everybody should invest. There's not a single person out there who shouldn't invest. But everybody knows, anybody sensible, that even all the top financial advisors advocate strategies in this economy and this climate of uncertainty, all types of investment strategies that really are not going to net you more than even 5% returns from year to year. You really want to hedge all your bets on that being a life changer? Starting your own business. That's wonderful. The problem is that you only have about a 14% chance of succeeding. And of course, that number goes down once you go into year 2. But you see, even though we really don't want to do any of those things that we looked at, the main reason why is not really our current options. It's really the big root of the problem, which is how we typically generate income, and that's that we earn money right now in the form of what's known as a linear income. We trade hours for dollars. So that requires a physical presence where you're missing a lot of opportunities in life, right? You don't really have freedom until you're 65, and then retirement age, of course, is going up until 70. So you're not even free in having the full ability and willingness to do what the heck you want with your life until you're at a point in your life when, frankly, let's face it, you don't have much juice left. Does that really sound fair, or the kind of life that you want to live? On top of that, you pay a fee to get paid. You realize that if you're a W-2 employee, you're paying almost double the amount of taxes that a traditional business owner is paying. Does that really make sense that you're simply giving more money to Uncle Sam simply because because you're doing your part in having a job? I didn't make the rules. Who the heck am I, and why am I telling you this? Well, my name's Tom McKeown. I did all the, more traditional things in the more traditional path that many of you and many people would look at and possibly aspire to. I danced the dance. I studied my butt off. I took on the debt. I worked hard in all my jobs. And then, of course, when 2008 came, in that one crazy day in September, Lehman Brothers fell, and that was really the beginning of the end of my iBanking career, and that left me basically with a firm basically saying to me, you know what, we're going to slice your salary in half and make your pay mostly incentive-laden. And, of course, when it's incentive-laden in an economy where there's no deals to be had because financing gets frozen and shut down because the banks were all crumbling, there's really no money to be made. On top of that, I was the breadwinner with my wife studying for the bar exam since she was moving to where I was living from out of state. So we basically had two children, an underwater mortgage where the mortgage was worth about, the value of the house was worth about half of what the actual mortgage was worth with a bank that refused to renegotiate, and approximately $80,000 in debt. And that's just me. At the age of 28, after working my ass off and doing everything right, I actually was in a position where to get benefits for my family, my wife and my two children, I actually considered and was on the verge of joining the military. And really, the only thing that saved me from just flat-out bankruptcy and having to move was my grandmother, who passed away, and she was on her deathbed, and she had about 60 days left to live. And she was faced with the decision of hiring an outside healthcare company with the insurance money that she got to pay for hospice care, or to hire a close family member. And she chose close family member because she wanted to give me the opportunity to make the money. And I felt terrible taking advantage of a situation like that to make money. But the joys of being able to spend my last days with my grandmother far outweighed any of that type of feeling, and that's really what saved everything. And for about a 60-day period, I worked 24 hours around the clock, my banking job during the day, and taking care of my grandmother from about 7 o'clock at night till 5 a.m. in the morning. So all of these developments led me to say, is this really how it's going to be? Is this really what it is? There really is no other way. And I decided to ask, are all the things that I've heard from all my Ivy League educated friends and professors really the only ways to go out and make a living, or are there other alternatives? Is it possible to go off my own and explore, or should I just be stuck in this cage of limitation like everybody else? And after everything I've been to, and from sitting here and talking to you today, I've come to the conclusion that I believe that there are three types of people in this world. One is you have cliffhangers. The ground beneath you is always moving. Cliffhangers are the people who just refuse to change until absolute last minute. They're the people who are getting smartphones now, finally. They're the people who refuse to get a cell phone until 2008. They're the people who are finally getting a Facebook account. They're the people who used a typewriter until 1997. They only change until the rest of society changes. They're not going to move the needle. Cliff fallers, they're even worse. They're people that put their head down, they go with the herd, they never question anything, never question authority. They're the kind of people that we need, but they're not the kind kind of people that are the movers and shakers and that really set the rules of the world. And cliff jumpers, the people that are always looking several thousand miles from the top of the cliff down into the future and seeing what the next big changes are. And I realized that by becoming a cliff jumper, that was going to be the way that I was going to take the bull by the horns and really determine my own future. And what I realized when I started to study some of the new rich, the people that had escaped the current dynamic of dollars for hours, people started to everyone I read and everyone I talked to had a common theme. They were no longer trading dollars for hours. They were creating what's called sleep money. And basically, it's the art of making money with a few actions and having those few actions pay you over and over again so you can do more of the things you want to do. And the thing that I never got enough of was sleep. And if I can sit there and get paid multiple times or get paid infinitely the same way as an annuity to be able to get more sleep, then you know what? I was all in. And by becoming a cliff jumper, I realized that I would go after sleep money from now on. Get paid for my smart work, not for hard work, regardless of time. And when I realized this, suddenly my life, with only 18 months, had drastically changed. I was suddenly earning close to $30,000 a month. That's net after taxes and everything. And costs, was able to quit my corporate job and now work from home with my wife, or work from anywhere really. I'm able to walk my kids to school and pick them up every single day. So I go into my kids' school. I'm the only dad going in there. All the other males that sometimes make a very brief appearance go in there with their suits and their loafers, and they're just rushing and sweating to get back in their car to beat the traffic. Not me. I got to travel all over the place in the first year since I freed myself from the old dynamic of dollars for hours and pay down all of my debts. That's right. And I have a home office and work wherever the heck I want. You don't know if I'm speaking to you from my home right now, or if I'm speaking to you from Thailand, or if I'm speaking to you from Italy. I mean, it could be anywhere. And here are some of the things that I do on an almost daily basis. Now, I don't do all of these things every day, but I do most of them. Multiple times a week. I stand up paddleboard probably about 3 or 4 times a week right after I drop my kids off at school. I go fishing on the off days, and I do work from my boat when I'm fishing right at Lake Travis. I go go-karting every other day with my kids, and sometimes with my friends. And, of course, I go rock climbing multiple times a week as well. These are the activities that most people do either on weekends or on vacations. This is what my typical week is like. And next year I'm going to consider going to film school part-time to pursue my lifelong passion and dream of becoming a filmmaker. These are things that in my finance career there was no way in hell would have ever have been possible. You see, sleep money is what's known as residual income. Right now, most of you, including myself, what I was making was regular income, where you basically have no more money coming to you if you stop working. Right? A person is financially dependent on a job that goes after linear income. They don't enjoy enough time to enjoy that income. And if work stops, the income stops. Whereas residual income, nonlinear income, sleep money, can grow exponentially. It can continue indefinitely. You can be the master of your own wealth creation, have true financial independence. Your time freedom is yours to enjoy, and your income continues to be created. You see, this is how income generation should be, at least in my mind. I don't know about you. Dollars should be for value, not time. It doesn't matter if you work a minute or an hour. It's about the value that you provide. Smart work that's profitable, nonlinear exponential income, sleep money. Physical presence kept to a minimum, or none at all. Freedom should be during your career. You should be able to take a series of mini retirements. You shouldn't have to worry about waiting until 65 or 70 to be able to get the ball and chains off. You should be able to work for 3 years and then take 6 months off, 5 years and take a year off. Who the hell is to say no? I don't see the rules written anywhere. to you, and to get paid, you should pay as little as possible. Get paid over and over again for the same action. Don't pay W-2 taxes, pay corporate taxes. It's half. That money should be yours. Here are some of the most traditional myths about starting a business. Number one, you need to raise capital. Go to a commercial bank. Take out huge interest rate laden loans that are probably very difficult for you to get approved of. Venture capital. Shark Tank, anyone? Everyone thinks that you need to go out and raise capital and raise financing. How much time is wasted in doing these silly activities? Huge ideas. Everyone has to create the next Microsoft or the next Apple, right? Yeah, good luck with that. Need an office with employees. You need to be mad connected like Paris Hilton or the Kardashians. Oh, and of course, you need to work 100 hours per week. So why in the hell would you ever leave your 50-hour-a-week job when it at least provides stability, right? All makes sense, but the reality is that they're just simply myths, and they're not true. All you really need to run a successful business are just three basic components. Number one is a product or a service to sell. Number two, the skills, platforms, and venues to sell that product, so basically just a place to sell it. And number three, the ability to be around other successful people to learn from in order to improve your performance. This, in my mind, number three, is the main reason why most people fail. They do not have access, or they do not make the effort to access that mastermind network. Those professionals that don't only just talk the talk, but they've walked the walk, and they can advise you and help you learn from them. So what is the solution? How the hell are you going to make sleep money? That's great, Tom. Go ahead and just go nuts about it. But what the hell exactly do I do? Well, it's really easy. Form your own internet marketing business, okay? Why? There are about 3,000 reasons, but I'll go ahead and I will condense those into about 9. Number one, you'll start to make money tomorrow. In most businesses, what you need to do is you have to put down a big time upfront investment, or take out a big loan, and you've got to pay it back. And because of that, you don't start making money for 6 months, a year, multiple years on out. Well, with an internet marketing business where there's essentially no overhead and you have no expenditure from financing because it's so cheap, you can start making money tomorrow. Tax write-offs. If you do this full time, every business expense goes against the amount of taxes that you owe, even if you do it part-time. You're in your W-2 job, as most of you are right now. Guess what? You do an internet marketing business part-time, you can take those write-offs and claim it against your taxes. That is right. That right there might be the main reason for you to do this, to simply save by being able to expense your cell phone, your electric bill, your cable bill, and all this other stuff that you use for business-related items that will save you money. Number three, no physical presence. Do I need to even get into this? I'm sure you've all seen that great, Sprint or Nextel commercial where the guy is working in the office, but he's actually out in the golf course, and he's sitting there talking on his cell phone to his boss, and his boss thinks he's back in the office, but he's really golfing right next to him in the golf cart, right? Automation. This is where sleep money comes in. You set up systems so they make sales and they close transactions where a very few actions that you perform in the beginning nets multiple dollars again and again and again. So you're not sitting there babysitting. No inventory, okay? You don't need to be sitting there with tons of product in your friggin' living room having to swim to get from the freaking front foyer to your backyard. Everything is drop shipped by a manufacturer, okay? It can be done part-time, as I mentioned. You don't do this full-time. Pull marketing. So instead of doing push marketing, which essentially is direct marketing, cold calling, emailing, door knocking, all of this other crap that people used to do, and then all these old school gurus are teaching, you're setting up an online marketing mechanism that are bringing leads to you. So you are only working with leads that have already identified that they're interested in what you're selling. Pull marketing, no harassment. It's cheap as hell, by the way, did I mention? And of course, the annuity, the sleep money. Get paid indefinitely over and over again for one-time sales. Now you probably say, okay, Tom, that's great, but what the hell exactly do I sell with an internet marketing business? And that's a great question. Does the industry not matter? Of course it does. You think I would advocate that you should go near any economically sensitive industry such as travel? Are you kidding me? Cosmetics, that's a luxury item. Desserts, energy? Do you want to sit there and mess with the volatile commodity price fluctuations? Real estate, were you alive 5 years ago? Biotechnology, prepaid legal? You're making me have a heart attack. You only want to consider recession-proof industries, ones where it doesn't matter how the economy is doing. It doesn't matter what the U.S. GDP is, what the employment number is, how Uncle Sam's running the government. It matters that is a recession-proof business that is always going to be in demand no matter what the hell happens on the outside. Healthcare, fitness, nutrition, health, and wellness. Does the product matter? Of course it does. We hear all these gurus today talking about getting involved in niche-based markets. Well, that used to be a good idea until all these different niche markets got flooded with every other entrepreneur out there. Okay, so what's taking place? All these niche products that only have the ability to scale to up to 10 to 15% of the market are now being, all being crowded and hovered by 10 to 15 times the amount of people that can fit into them, right? It's kind of like law school. There are more people in law school than actual law jobs today. You want to consider products that can scale at least 50% of the population or more. Don't sell vegan protein. Deal with products where people look at it and based on the very comprehensive general packaging, they say, I look at that, I see one word, I know exactly what the hell it does. Transformation, I know exactly what the hell that does. That is how the human mind works. That is how marketing psychology works, and that is why we have been so successful. How can you learn to create your own sleep money? You just simply need to learn the three pillars of internet marketing, which we can teach you. Number 1, social media. Number 2, direct marketing. Number 3, automation. So by working with us to help create your own sleep money for you, you can fully equip yourself with the know-how and skills and experience to run a money-making internet business immediately. You also can get from us a customized business setup for you to start working and making money immediately. And, of course, as I mentioned, the key to success here, your own mastermind network of successful business owners to consult, network, and exchange ideas with. And don't worry, guys, we and other business owners that are successful do not look like these, 7 old, grudgy guys here in this picture. Trust me, we're all much, more bright looking and have smiles and much more welcoming than this. Social media. We're going to provide you the social media strategy, how to set up an ever-present status, all relevant platforms, and how to set up that pull a marketing mechanism. That's right, no more door knocking, no more harassing the hell out of your sister's best friend's cousin's mother and getting tomatoes thrown at you. The leads are coming to you, baby. Email marketing, your own website. We help you set that up. Your own magnet offer, which directs traffic to your website, and of course your own customized video strategy. Direct marketing. What do you do with the leads from social media? How exactly do you work on them? How do you close them? How do you turn them into dollars? We give you step-by-step directions, and we also have a system of a proven system of tools that you put in place that does all the work for you. That way, instead of you sitting there talking and blabbing your mouth off about all this stuff like you're a know-it-all, you take the proven tools, you put it in front of the prospects, boom, you close the deal. You're not sitting there having to memorize all the stuff that the company has already done for you. And finally, the last wonderful ingredient of sleep money, automation. We will provide you your own business marketing. Our number 1 in the market branded product is a 90-day money-back guarantee. So if it sucks and you think it's a scam and you think it doesn't work, well, we gave you 3 months, right? So I don't know how many other deals give you 3 months to basically say, hey, you know what? You don't like it, you give money back, even though you already consumed or you already worked or you did whatever with it, right? A pipeline of customer leads, and of course, the instruction on how to build a team of business leaders to take over for you once you set up your business, so you can step back, you can drink your Diet Coke or your Mojito, and you can go and walk away, and that's when your sleep money is created. And of course, we provide you with that mastermind network, people who have succeeded and who have made it to the millions of dollars and who are there for you each step of the way guiding you on exactly how to succeed in business. So we're not just a bunch of college professors that are brainiac, nerd boy, book geeks, okay, and we're not just a bunch of people, Johnny Downers, who go off of the advice that my dad's friend's dad said X and Y. Were people that have actually built the left side of balance sheets for a living, who are giving you this advice and whose network you have to tap to. Okay? So you ask, okay, well, what is this product? What is your business? We distribute the products of Visalis Life Sciences. It is the #1 meal replacement product company in North America. They didn't even exist until 2009, and now they're bigger than SlimFast. They're bigger than Jenny Craig. They're bigger than Nutrisystem. They've kicked the ass out of all of those because of exactly the system that I described to you. It's won numerous awards, including the 2011 Bravo Growth Award. So talk about accolades, talk about accreditation, talk about accomplishments. Instead of having to start your own thing and trying to reinvent the wheel, you're just simply taking a system that's proven, and that has worked and will continue to work. We have a couple of requirements. Number one, you got to be either a big gal or a big boy. Number two, you have to have at least 2 years of work experience. We just want people that know how to tie ties. And actually, no, I don't care about you tying a tie. I just care that you've at least done something, for work, and that you know how to act in a professional environment. And number three, you must own a PC Mac smartphone. People remember the whole point of this business is to do it from anywhere. We're not trying to quarantine you into some office. That's the opposite of what we want. Cost. If you look at all your traditional business options on the right, you will see that everything is pretty expensive, even in internet business, because if you really want to set things up the right way, you've got to spend at least $5,000 to $10,000. Coaching and consulting has a very dirt cheap setup cost, but of course you give away half of your life as far as time. Sleep Money by the Cliff Jumpers, it's about a $500 cost, but you get full training, on-the-job training, game-changing, top-selling products that we market, which you're going to have access to as well, a mastermind network, having access to top executives and people who have walked the walk before, a residual income. You're going to get paid over and over again for one-time actions, and it can be done part-time. And oh, by the way, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee on the business. So if it sucks, if it doesn't work, if you think it's a scam, then guess what? You get your money back. I'm putting myself out there. So last thing I'll say, when I say who am I looking for? Okay, because right now we're at a fork in the road. The opportunity is here for you. You got one path just to keep going on and doing what you typically do. You may or may not be satisfied. You roll the dice. Maybe you're hitting a 3. You're happy that you're not hitting a 1 or 2, but you'd like to go to a 4, 5, and a 6. This could be your opportunity, because we're looking for people who want to take control of their own life and finances, who want to aspire to reach their biggest goals and dreams, who want to learn from true professionals who have walked the walk, and people who are looking for a part-time and possibly a full-time income. The fork in the road is here. The pathway is closing. The time is now. And if you have any questions and you want to be further educated on the opportunity, you can contact me. My contact info is left here. If you go to my website, www.yourtruechange.com, you will see all of my social media links, including my YouTube channel, where you get to follow me and watch videos on my life, both professionally and personally, to know that I'm a real person. I exist. I'm not, a Simone. I'm not some graphic animation. I'm not the tiger from Life of Pi, actual flesh and blood human being who has done this and who's doing this and who's talking to you right now. Or you can contact the person that invited you to this webinar, and we can take things offline. If you do have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I do very much appreciate your time. And until next time, I'm Tom McKeown. Thanks again.